we expecting this one to pan itself out tonight, Mickey? What sort of game are we in for?
Well, a physical battle, always in the Championship. It's about winning that battle in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but I think what you'll see from Preston is they'll be very direct. They'll try and get the ball up towards Magic as quick as they possibly can and try and play from there. But they've got to try and make things happen to get this crowd involved. With Stoke, I think they'll be more patient. They will try and get that ball out to the two wide players, and then anything can happen with this Stoke side. They're great on the day, but they have off days, and Preston will be hoping it's an off day.
Well, welcome to Championship Friday Night Football on Talksport 2. Deep down the venue as Preston look to halt their deep troubles of recent months. From 4th to 17th in the Championship table, it's been a dramatic decline to say the least. Paul Heckingbottom is feeling the pressure on the back of a winless run stretching back to the 17th of January. A win could seriously turn the mounting noise around Preston North End. Mark Robbins has found a fighting spirit in his Stoke City side of late. A win and a draw in the last two with 6 goals scored, and Sorba Thomas back in the team has restored confidence. So let's have a look at the lineups for the two teams tonight. 4 changes for Preston North End. Paul Heckingbottom changes his wing back, so Paul Valentin comes on the right hand side, Vukovic on the left. They will play a 3-4-3 formation. Devine is in the midfield, Osmajic is up front. And for Stoke City tonight, there's 2 changes. Gibson slots into the centre-half position. Talavierov is out with an ankle injury, another injury to deal with for Mark Robbins. And Ben Pearson, the former Preston man who had 5 years at Deepdale, he plays for Stoke now and he starts in the midfield. He comes into the side and replaces Bai. So the full 11 for Preston. Everson in goal. It's Story, Lindsay and Hughes, the back 3. The wing backs are Valentin and Vukovic. In midfield, Moran, Whiteman and Devine, and then it's Osmajic and Dobbin. And for Stoke City, the young keeper Simkin thrust into the spotlight, just 22 years old, but he's learnt an awful lot in the past 2 months. He's in goal, Chamadou at right back, Bocat left back, Phillips and Gibson the centre halves, and Zonzi and Rigo the 2 in front of that defence. Manhoff, who's found form with 2 goals in the last match, on the right side, Sorba Thomas on the left, Ben Pearson in behind, Smith up front. Well, in a huddle, Stoke City in front of their 3,000 fans. Away to our left-hand side in front of the Bill Shankly stand, which is adorned on the seats with a picture of the incredible Sir Tom Finney, and away to our right-hand side, the Alan Kelly stand, the Cop stand. That's the goal that's being guarded by the Preston North End keeper, Everson. There's a couple of things that have combined or tallied alongside Preston's poor form. One is Everson's injury. He's not been in since the start of January, but he's returned. Will that help things? And of course, they had to send a very talented player back to Everton, who was on loan here. And I think that's made a massive difference as well, Mickey.
No, absolutely. And I did touch on loanee players, which are key for Paul Heckingbottom. And when you do lose those players, a little bit of momentum you lose.
Here's Dobbin with an immediate run. It's a charging, forceful run down the right side. Flicks the ball in. Oh, and that header just over the top from Vukovic. He's earned the corner. It's actually come off Chamadou. And Preston coming out with an awful lot of intent in the first minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Very bright, wasn't it, from Lewis Dobbin? Great little run to work his way into that 18-yard area. And Vukovic, who's got back into the starting 11 tonight, wing-backs, getting involved, nearly got on the end of it. And that's what gets the crowd involved in the game.
So a corner kick for Preston North End, left-hand side of the Stoke City goal. It's whipped into the far side. There's a real melee for the keeper to get through, but Simkin does get his hand on it, punches it out to the other far side from where we are, and it will be a second Preston corner within the 2nd minute of the game. So over to take it is Ben Whiteman, the captain, spots it down, and Stoke City just trying to keep calm heads as Preston start this game with an awful lot of momentum and ferocity, looking for the opening goal. It's flicked in there, the header goalwards from Hughes. He gets a second chance to head it to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Osmajic saw the turn and he was hoping to maybe hook it goalwards, but at the same time he's collided with a Stoke player, and it will be a foul and a free kick for Stoke inside their penalty area. Well, that's the start the Preston fans wanted.
Oh, absolutely. It's brilliant. Very, very bright. 2 corners. Simkin done very well, I have to say, in that Stoke goal for the first one. Just to claw it away from his goal. It was whipping in towards that far corner. But from the follow-up, they just kept the ball alive, Preston, trying to get that opportunity. Osmajic on the swivel, nearly got his volley away, but it was very good defending from Stoke in the end. I think the referee has given a foul.
Just to rewind 2 minutes, the player we were referring to who has headed back to Everton, Harrison Armstrong, And I think they were quite lucky to have him, a huge talent, but David Moyes in the end needed him back from Preston, and it has affected things. But Preston surely have enough quality in their squad to get themselves higher than 17th in the table. It's goalless at the moment. It's Talksport 2. Thank you for your company on Friday night. Mickey Gray alongside myself, Steve Hothersall, bringing you full commentary of Preston North End against Stoke City here at Deepdale. So a throw-in for Preston just in front of the dugouts. Paul Heckingbottom, of course, took Sheffield United up into the Premier League, having a very different task on his hands with this Preston North End side as they struggle in their championship position at the moment. There's Lindsay, left-footed clearance high and up to the halfway line. Chamadou leaves it, Phillips heads it forward, hoping to find a little bit of assistance from Smith. It's actually gone out for a throw into Preston on this near side. We both talked off air before the game about how bad this pitch can get, and we were talking in the press room with a couple of colleagues who said they thought it was possibly in the worst pitches in all four of the league pyramid.
Well, this was probably classed in my day, Steve, as probably one of the better ones the way it looks now, but I completely get it. Look, it's a little bit choppy, and as I'm sure as the player goes on.
It's a goal from Stoke City, and it's Sorba Thomas. Oh, he's powered it in from just outside the 6-yard box. Chamadou taking some of the credit for the assist, and Sorba Thomas with the finish for Stoke City. And they go and collect in the far corner and celebrate a very early goal on 3 minutes. Preston North End started this game well, but Stoke City just raised their own game, and they are ahead of Deepdale very early doors. Preston North End 0, Stoke City 1.
Well, football's crazy at times, isn't it? I mean, it's just come out of nowhere, a bolt of blue for Stoke City, because Preston have started the game very, very brightly. But as that ball's bouncing around, the Preston defenders, they don't clear their lines properly. And as it falls to that right-hand side, and Chamadou, he's got nobody anywhere near him, but the one thought in his mind is, I'm whipping this ball into the air. It's a great cross into the box. And Sorba Thomas is there. He's just got to make great connection with it. And he does that, and it just pops the ball into the back of the net. And you can hear those Stoke City fans, they are absolutely loving the fact that they've gone 1-0 up early on.
Preston trying to come back straight away, but it's chested down by Chamadou to Simpkin in goal for Sorba Thomas. He's on to double figures for goals. That's 10 in the Championship this season. He's also got 9 assists. In fact, he's the second highest in the Championship for chances created. And when he's in the side, this Stoke City side is a different team. But it's Thomas with the goal, and it's Stoke City with the lead in the Championship. This 8 o'clock kickoff at Deepdale. Preston with the ball. The gauntlet's been laid down to them. Vukovic, down the left-hand channel he goes. Turns it back infield. And some help from Devine. You can hear the noise of the Stoke City fans. They've not had to travel too far to be here. And they're enjoying the early form of their side. Of course, 6 goals in the last 2 games and an early goal here. There's momentum for them. Right, possibilities for Dobbin. But he's shouldered off the ball just on the edge of the 6-yard box by Ben Gibson. Preston try and retain it. It's dropped to Rigo though. And now down the left-hand side, Sorba Thomas with possession, skips away from the challenge and then knocks it back into the defence. It will be at the feet of Phillips. Well, Talksport 2, Championship action. Delivering you the goals as they go in, as Nzonzi collides in the centre with Osmajic. And Nzonzi's not a small guy. Osmajic is a little bit of a warrior as well. Those two came shoulder to shoulder, and the referee has penalised Osmajic.
Yeah, battle of the big guys, wasn't it? Osmajic on this occasion coming out better than Stephen Nzonzi. Back at Stoke City for his second stint. Absolute legend at this football club, first time around. But talk about a goal to settle the nerves. That goal, because Stoke didn't start the game brightly at all. They were second best, and Preston looked very lively, I have to say. But that quick counter-attack, the breakaway down this right-hand side, a wonderful ball into the area. We talk about crosses and people who can get in on the end of them and score. Oh, that was absolutely picture perfect, wasn't it, for Stoke?
Stoke ball up to Schmidt, but it's headed away by Hughes for Preston North End. Schmidt manages to knock it down. And back to the halfway line for Stoke. That was the voice of Mickey Gray alongside me. When you type Mickey Gray against Preston North End into your AI search engine, it comes up first of all with Sheffield Wednesday 1, Preston North End 2. But Mickey Gray scored a sublime curling free kick in the 38th minute.
I did.
I did. He pretends he's forgotten. That's in his scrapbook.
Didn't get many.
He wasn't worried about the score at the end. He had a sublime curling free kick.
Alan Irvine was manager of Preston at the time, and I think 2 weeks later he became Sheffield Wednesday manager, and I don't think I played from that moment.
That's what football can do to you. Throw in for Preston North End on the far stand side. We're in the main stand here at Deepdale. Way to our right is the Alan Kelly stand, and on the left, of course, as I mentioned before, the Sir Tom Finney stand. Club with such rich history. Here's Stoke City. Ball to the right side for Chamadou, the man who provided the assist for the opening goal. Now Unzonzi, neat little flick infield. Then played back into the heart of the Stoke defence for Ben Gibson. Bocat down the left line. Rigo got a touch on it. And then Sorba Thomas. What a crossfield ball that is by Sorba Thomas. Just about kept in play, is it? No. Millian Manhoff can't keep it on this side of the white line. But that was fantastic vision from Thomas over on the left-hand side. A raking pass which found his colleague.
It was absolutely superb from Sorba Thomas. Obviously buoyed with confidence. What a season he's having. Double figures for goals, nearly into double figures for assists as well. A super diagonal pass there. What about this Stoke crowd, Steve? They've been absolutely brilliant. Talk about the 12th man.
We had a little joke before the game off air where we said they might have brought more than actually the Preston fans in here, but they definitely seem more up for the occasion. And I know we did mention, with a fair win behind them, could they get to the sixth place in the Championship? Well, with this sort of attitude, who knows what might happen. 8 games to play. The table can certainly change an awful lot.
Yeah, early stages in this game, and there's going to be a lot that's going to happen in the 90 minutes, what we're watching in front of us right now, but 6 points away from 6th spot. It's not a bad place to be.
Stoke defending, header away to the edge of their box, which is put back in by Hughes, but he's got no white shirts to find. Bocat will release a long 50-yard ball down the left side for Thomas to chase. Hooked clear first time by Ben Whiteman, the Preston captain. And Preston retain possession on the halfway line. Along the floor it goes backwards to Story. Now into Lindsay at the heart of the back three for Preston North End.
Patience now, isn't it, from Preston? But the problem is these Preston supporters want them to just rush that ball forward every chance that they get. Sometimes you've got to take the sting out of the game and just readdress what's happened in the first 10 minutes of the game. They're not going to be able to do that because they're a goal behind. There's an expectation now from these Preston supporters. Let's go and get the equalising goal.
Well, Stoke tonight in their purple shirts and shorts. It's definitely a fashion statement. Preston, of course, in the white tops and the blue shorts. And it's Stoke who've come out blazing with the early goal in 3 minutes. And as Mickey said then, calm heads are required for the home team. Long throw in by Chamadou, which with the help of some Preston defending is seen out for a goal kick for Everson. He's a player they have missed. Of course, Cornell came into goal for a couple of months with Everson injured, but the experience of Everson might just bring something extra back to the Preston side. That wasn't great as the ball is pushed out of play. A mistake by Andrew Moran and a throw in for Stoke City.
Just playing it into Moran's feet there, and he's basically gone back towards his own goal. His first touch has got to be great, and we talked about the pitch already. If it's not, these Stoke players are just going to be on you. They're not going to let you turn. And then his simple little pass to his wing back, and that's where you've just got to be more precise. It's just a little bit sloppy, isn't it?
Referee's just blown his whistle for a Stoke free kick. The referee is Farai Halam tonight. He's been fairly kind and measured throughout the course of this season. No red cards, just 1 penalty awarded in 24 games. Someone who's on Mickey's radar as well, who might be coming through the ranks.
Certainly is. Making a name for himself. Done a very good job in the games that I've seen him referee.
Thomas Rigo with that blonde dyed hair as he streaks a ball diagonally across field to the edge of the box. Then on the turn of the hook is Manhoff, and he's put it over top of the crossbar. 2 goals in the last game for him. He hadn't scored since November before he netted twice against Watford, but his pace and his presence on the right is really working well for Stoke City. That time he misses the target.
Yeah, he is. He's a threat, no question of that. And that's the type of goals he likes to score, Steve. You know, the ball's coming out of the sky and he's tried a volley.
Now here's Osmajic on the run. He's too wide to maybe shoot, and Thomas is blocking him out on the far side of the Stoke penalty area. And Thomas has just grabbed the shirt. Osmajic has gone down, claims he was fouled. Referee didn't fancy giving anything there. Stoke played on. Now Preston have won it back, and they'll try and attack once more. I think that was a soft fall to the ground by Osmajic. And it's rolled back to Lindsay, who's over the halfway line. So a very high press from Preston North End at the moment, but that's a mistake by Lindsay, and it almost allowed Smith to break free from the halfway line. Well, Story was really let off the hook there. And it comes back towards the Stoke City penalty area. Well, that could have been a disaster for Preston North End, but Smith didn't take the most of his advantage. And it remains Preston North End 0, Stoke City 1. And the goal scorer is no surprise. It's Sorba Thomas, the number 7 for Stoke City, who's edged them in front on 7 minutes. Talksport 2, myself, Steve Hothersall, alongside me, Mickey Gray. And you're listening to full live EFL commentary on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app. Free from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Prices may vary. Chamadou with a throw-in for Stoke City, right-hand side of the Preston half. They flooded their players into the Preston half of the pitch. Now the final third, in fact. Nzonzi's gone in there. Schmidt's in there. Phillips is joining the battling figures as well. It's going to be an awfully long throw by Chamadou, looking towards Phillips, couldn't get a head on it, headed away by Preston. This is an opportunity as they break through the centre. It looks like it's Devine on the run. Devine into the Stoke box, takes a shot. Oh, it's into the corner of the net, and Preston have equalised. Terrific counter-attack and a left-footed shot from Devine, which the keeper Tommy Simpkin got a hand to, but it just nestled into that far corner. The shot was cut across the face of his goal, and all credit to Devine for that run and shot. And these sides are level now. Preston North End 1, Stoke City 1.
Well, that's counter-attacking football at its best. Ball's bouncing around in that midfield area, but Devine just takes a chance from his own half. He starts his run and the ball's played through to him. And 2 or 3 touches later, it's in the back of Stoke City's net. Wonderful goal, wonderful finish. Simikin, I think when he has a look at this again, it's very difficult as a keeper. I'm not quite sure it's actually just slotting into the bottom corner, Steve, but when he makes contact with it, the Stoke goalkeeper, it pops up a little bit in the air and then actually just glides into the corner of the net. I'm probably doing him a disservice here when I say that about Devine. Maybe it was just creeping in, but what a super equalising goal.
What I'd say about Alfie Devine as well is most shots for Preston in the Championship. He's someone with intent and plays with intent and desire to score, and he's grabbed an equaliser at an important time for Preston North End. 15 minutes into the game, when you go behind to an early goal as well, you often question how you'll approach things. You mentioned it before, Mickey. Do they sit back and compose themselves? Well, that was a terrific counter-attack as Stoke City try and break down the left-hand side with Schmidt. Well, the ball runs out for a goal kick. Milan Schmidt arguing there. 2 goals for him against Ipswich, so the game before last. So a couple of the Stoke players out there have been in good scoring form of late, but this one is all level, and it's brought some noise out of the Preston fans now. Alfie Devine with the equaliser for Preston North End. Ball comes back to Simpkin. I agree with you as well. I sort of thought when he took the shot, I fancied the keeper more than Devine to score at that moment.
Yeah, because he was on his weaker left foot and he's kind of scuffed his shot into the ground a little bit, and it was either creeping towards that far post, and as soon as the goalkeeper Simpkin has a touch of it, it kind of brings it back into the goal and loops over the top of his arm, but taking nothing away from the run. It was absolutely outstanding.
Sorba Thomas rolls it back to the edge of the penalty area, and Ben Pearson didn't fancy turning and shooting, instead laid it back out to the left-hand side for Bocat, and then Sorba Thomas tries to cross it from that angle. It hits the Preston defender and goes out for a throw-in to the visitors tonight, to Deepdale.
Wonderful defending there, wasn't it, from Paul Valentin to stop Sorba Thomas getting his ball into the area. He just looked for that half a yard. And as a wing-back, full-back, if you like, you've just got to kind of stretch your leg out at times, make yourself as big as you possibly can.
Well, of course, two big matches taking place tonight. This in the Championship, in the Premier League, Bournemouth against Manchester United on Talksport at the moment, goalless in that game after 18 minutes. But we've had 2 goals here already. It seems like Mickey brings the goals to Preston. He had 4 last time he was about. Simpkin will scoop that one up. So 21 years old, baptism this season for the keeper Simpkin, recalled from his loan with Leyton Orient because Victor Johansson was injured. He's a Stoke graduate and he's getting a chance in a big season for them. As Bocat lays it down the left line for Sorba Thomas. Referee blows his whistle with help from the linesman for a Preston North End throw-in.
And that pass as well from Andrew Moran from that midfield area as well through to Alfie Devine. Can't go unnoticed either, Steve. It was just perfectly timed, the right weight on the pass, and Devine just had to run onto it. But it was what the game needed. Didn't want to see Preston stay a goal behind for 20-25 minutes. The crowd start getting a little bit agitated. It's now giving them a little bit of hope. And I think the way they've actually started the game, they probably deserve to be on level terms.
Well, the manager claims his side perhaps should have had more out of the last couple of months. It's a tough one. They've got the players. Maybe they are underachieving Preston North End, but they have let themselves down in certain parts of games. As the ball is flighted high by Preston down the right channel for Osmajic. He's enjoying, I would say, enjoying probably is the right word, a good battle with Ben Gibson tonight. And Gibson certainly stuck to Osmajic at the moment. They've got 2 very beefy and physical centre-halves in Phillips and Gibson tonight. The throw-in will come for Preston and they can possibly launch one into the box. Instead, no, it goes short to Moran. Stoke can't get it away at that point in time. It'll drop down to the feet of Paul Valentin. He's near the corner flag on the far side. He turns and shapes one into the far post, and that is caught this time high in the air by Tommy Simpkin.
Well done, Simpkin. It's what you want from your goalkeeper. Commanding, pulling that ball out of the sky. Good wide play initially from Valentin, just to get his cross into the area, but Simpkin just kept his eyes on the ball at all cost, and then straight away got his side back on the front foot.
Stoke quickly tried to counter-attack. Emilian Manhoff nearly got his way round Vukovic on this side, but the throw-in was earned instead. Now it's back into Stoke possession over on the far left-hand side with Bocat. Bocat is challenged for the ball by Moran, and it goes out for a Stoke City throw. So it's certainly quietened those Stoke City fans down, that equalising goal, because they were a noisy bunch.
Yeah, they certainly were. They've come to enjoy themselves tonight, all 3,000 of them. It's great to see. Supporting the team up and down the country, and maybe they've got a bit of hope. Can we actually get to those playoffs?
You have to dream, don't you? And it's a possibility, as Stoke City with Ben Pearson, who's also used to these surroundings and pitched through his time at Preston North End. He plays a ball 20 yards into the centre for Nzonzi. Those cultured and experienced legs turn and lay it off to Bocat. Bocat 25 yards from goal now, fancied a shot himself, but it ricocheted off Story and goes out for a throw-in for Stoke City, left side of the Preston box.
Yeah, Bocat there trying to get himself just on the edge of the 18-yard area. He initially tried to have a look for one of his teammates to play that cross into the box, couldn't find them. Half a yard, get your shot away. Yes, blocked on this occasion, but I don't mind fullback getting forward and having an opportunity.
And so another throw for Stoke City, this time from the left, looking for distance, didn't quite get it, and he came out to the edge of the Preston penalty area. Manhoff's first to it, lays it in for Rigo, tried to combine between the two of them. Everson, knowing that the ball was going to fall short, ran out, got down quickly and scooped it up in the Preston goal.
Well, a long throw that wasn't a long throw. Nearly came to something for Stoke, wasn't it? I think it just got it completely wrong over on that far side from where we're doing our commentary from.
Bocat heads it forward. This is 25 yards from goal, and that shot ripped off the floor from Schmidt, but was saved by Everson. It probably wasn't going in anyway, and Everson just needs to calm it down a bit for Preston North End. I'm sure Paul Heckingbottom doesn't want the game played at this ferocious tempo forever. It's that long ball upfield from Dobbin. He's not really involved himself as much as he would have liked so far, Lewis Dobbin. He's on loan from Aston Villa, and he's been pretty much a success for Preston North End. Here's Osmaic though, and maybe a chance for North End. Played square. Now Whiteman. Terrific pass from Whiteman out to Vukovic on the left side. Tries to take on Chamadou for pace, and Chamadou hooks that out for a corner kick. Good intent from Vukovic, and Chamadou read it, and that was about the only thing he could do.
Yeah, well, it was Chamadou who initially gave the ball away to give Preston the chance to break forward. So full credit to the fullback for getting back and making that challenge, but the pressure's not gone yet from this corner from Preston, and we know they'll pack that 18-yard area.
Ball being spotted down by the goal scorer, Devine. There's plenty in that box for Preston North End. Lindsay's come up. Story as well, that's a poor corner kick. Didn't get any purchase on it, Devine. Easily cleared away by Stoke City to the halfway line, and then rolled back by Paul Valentin to his keeper, Everson. Everson will shunt it long again. Diagonal ball across the field. Devine served as the decoy. Went over the top of Chamadou. Now fighting is Vukovic. He was pulled back, but he's still going, and is put out for another corner, this time by Ben Pearson. A little bit lucky, because he really probably should have conceded the free kick there for pulling back the shirt.
Yeah, but then I'm just having a look at Vukovic. Can he cross that ball first time when he does get away from his marker? That extra touch just takes the ball away from him, the one inside the 18-yard area.
Another Preston corner. Flicked by Devine into a dangerous area and headed over the top of the crossbar by Preston North End. Well, that was better. A much better corner by Devine. And it presented an opportunity, but just couldn't be finished. That header going right over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, Liam Lindsay it was, and you see his hands go straight to his head. That has to go down as a big chance. He's a big lad, leaps above everybody inside that 6-yard area. Just got to guide it underneath that crossbar and into one of the corners.
Ball's back in the hands of the Stoke keeper, Tommy Simkin. I'm Steve Hothersall. Alongside me, of course, Mickey Gray. And if we go further down his Google list, one of his other notable games, Coventry 2, Preston 1 in 2007. A big win for Coventry. We don't remember that one.
Me neither.
They all disappear into obscurity. Here's the ball rolling out just behind the Stoke City goal. And again, Simpkin goes out to get it. So it's been pretty much even Stevens this match so far. Stoke City have had some good opportunity. They've certainly not dominated this Preston side, who seems to have found a lot more confidence than you might have expected from recent results.
Well, I mean, 4 shots for Stoke, 3 shots for Preston, 1 on target either side, and we've got 2 goals in the game. I think the XG for Preston's just gone a little bit higher than Stoke's, so it kind of does tell its own story. The possession's kind of level, 53 for Stoke, 47 for Preston. And you know, the way that Preston started the game, they looked lively, they were bright, they were obviously trying to get themselves on the front foot. They got a setback with a goal that Stoke scored, wonderful goal from their part, but their heads didn't drop, and I love to see that from the home team.
Moran trying to stop Stoke charge, some good tackling by him, didn't quite get to the heart of it. Referee awarded a free kick in the end against him. Only a young player, made his debut against Norwich, the 22-year-old. £1 million from Brighton, but certainly getting involved there, and it stopped that Stoke attack in its tracks. Yellow card dished out by the referee, and as he puts it in the book, it allows Rigo to consider the free kick for Stoke City. He's pulling the Stoke midfielder back a yard or two to the halfway line.
$1 million man, who the player on the right hand side there. I think at one point, Steve, there was 4 Preston players around to try and stop him dribbling that ball towards his own 18-yard area, and that's the talent he's got. You have to double up and make it hard for him.
Manhu, free kick, 5 yards in front of the halfway. It's a diagonal ball to the far left side of the Preston box, met by Story. It bounces awkwardly. Sorba Thomas waiting to see where it would end up. He's gone back in the challenge with Story, who's ended up heading it out of play towards the benches, and it will be a Stoke City throw-in. Devine going down and managing to get back up straight away and just limping for a moment or two. That's a moment of concern for Paul Heckingbottom. He'll surely run that off as Stoke take the throw-in near the halfway line. Both managers have barely sat down throughout the course of the opening 26 minutes of this game. The opening goal coming on 3 minutes from Stoke City. Sorba Thomas, and then the equaliser after the quarter hour A terrific counter-attack and finished by Alfie Devine. So 1-1 it is at Deepdale, Preston North End against Stoke City on Talksport 2. Here's Osmajic backing into his man, holding up the ball. He's been given the rough treatment tonight, Osmajic, before it's cleared away by Sorba Thomas into the Preston half, and then Story rolls it back to his keeper Everson. Everson out to Hughes on the left-hand side. Digs into his clearance upfield. Dobbin chasing for it. Phillips is first to it with the header. Met on the halfway line by Whiteman for Preston North End. Now it's Moran. Moran to the right-hand side. Another opportunity for Moran. He got it trapped underneath his feet. Couldn't find anything. Ben Whiteman then had it on the edge of the penalty area. Ball wouldn't bounce cleverly for him. Gave Stoke City the opportunity through Rigo to come clear to the halfway. Here's Stoke City with Manhoff. He's gone infield. Helping him out is Chamadou on the right-hand side. Provided the assist for the opening goal. Now Manhoff again. Number 42 for Stoke City. Pearson. Back to Manhoff. And then Unzonzi. Stoke just calming things down and keeping hold of the ball. And they've got it on the right-hand side of the field. And back to Phillips in the defence. Lofts it high into the Preston half. Met by Lindsay, jumping high. And it's broken nicely backwards for the home team for Hughes to deal with. He turns and scoops one upfield. Phillips meets it with the header first time over the halfway line. Powered back by Alfie Devine. And now the referee blows up for a Stoke City free kick.
Yeah, I think Lewis Dobbin's got a case there for a free kick. Two centre-halves from Stoke. Ben Gibson, I think it was on this occasion, just went straight through the back of him. There was no way he was going to win the header. And Dobbin's just waiting to maybe head that one inside to one of his teammates or bring it down on his chest. And you could hear those Preston supporters. They were a little bit frustrated there. Look, we've bigged him up for Halam, and he has refereed the game very well so far. But on the occasion, sometimes he maybe just has to see when a centre-half is trying to foul a striker on purpose. Just take the sting out of the game.
Tommy Simkin, the Stoke keeper, with the ball at the moment. Stoke looking for consecutive wins for the first time since early January. And actually on the road they've been defensively solid, conceded the joint fewest away goals, 19. So there's something about this Stoke makeup that is working for Mark Robins. He really has been hampered by several players that have been missing throughout the course of the season. The game against Ipswich, he had 5 academy players on the bench. But he has seen in the past couple of weeks a healthy return for several. And here's Preston North End with the ball on the right-hand side. Story losing it for a moment and out of position. But he's fortunate because Preston do pick it up once more. Halfway inside the Stoke half. Chipped over the top for Osmajic to chase to. Instead, Bocat will bring that towards his own corner flag. And Bocat just stumbled as he got to the dead ball line and pushed it out for a corner kick to Preston. I don't think he intended that. He was more looking like he was going to swivel and hook it out for a throw, but Preston will have another corner. They've had a lot of Preston corners in this game.
Yeah, we certainly have. The pressure's been there from the home side. I think Bocat just panicked a little bit there, and those matches, that's what he does to you. He doesn't give you a second on the ball. You try to clear your lines, you get it wrong. And Preston, again, it's another opportunity from a set piece.
Corner from the right-hand side of the Sir Tom Finney stand. Preston take it in towards the melee. Looks like it might have come off a Stoke head again, maybe Schmidt. And it's gone back out for another Preston corner. Ben Whiteman will take it again. Puts it down on the corner spot. Whiteman with his left arm raised. The white shirts of Preston in the Stoke box. It's an outswinger. It's headed away first time by Ben Gibson. And Preston chase back to win possession with Paul Valentin. They've done that and got themselves a throw-in instead from that far side. So we've played 31 minutes at this game here at Deepdale. There's been a fair bit to get stuck into. It's 1-1 between Preston and Stoke City. And you're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary. Preston with the ball. Liam Lindsay falls, but Preston retain it. Here's Dobbin. What can he make of this, the Aston Villa loanee? He's running on an angle and he has to turn his back goalwards, so he gives it to Alfie Devine, who skips one far post. First time volley. across the face of goal, and Phillips has to turn it out, head it out for a corner kick. Really decent Preston move, which was manufactured quite quickly.
Yeah, well, they have to get somebody in on the end of it to finish off. A wonderful move. What a ball from Alfie Devine. Just seen that run. I think it was Valentin eventually who got in behind and just pulled the ball back towards the penalty area. But where's your teammates? If I'm a striker, that's what you're waiting for, just to pop the ball into the back of the net. Preston are on the front foot.
Alfie Devine with a corner kick for Preston. He caused problems with the last one from this area. Right-footed in towards the edge of the box, headed away by Unzonzi, and then turned backwards by Preston to the halfway line. There's no question that Preston's season has been hindered by a lack of goals. Just 42 scored for them, 17th in the Championship. As the ball's put forward by Preston to the edge of the Stoke City box. Their top scorer, Osmajic, has got just 7 goals to his name. Lewis Dobbin as well with 7. As again, Preston try and turn it towards the penalty spot, but Stoke City defend it well. Sorba Thomas races away. That was a late challenge on him, and the referee might go to his book for this one. Ben Whiteman it was. The Stoke City players are thinking it should be more than a yellow. Sorba Thomas really had picked up the pace and was clearly going to get at least a third, if not 2/3 of the way down the pitch. He stayed down on the floor. I'm not sure there was much more Ben Whiteman could have done, and he probably needed to make the foul.
Well, in that situation, Steve, I mean, Sorba Thomas he's tried to clear his lines. He's got very fortunate. It didn't happen the way he wanted to, but he's got the opportunity to just nick the ball in front of Ben Whiteman, and Ben Whiteman has just got a full stretch. Studs was showing. You saw the grimace on Sorba Thomas's face. He went to ground. He's waving his arms around in the air. He's back on his feet now. Look, I'm not saying, let's say it's an orange card, shall we? Because it was a bad challenge. I don't want players getting sent off. It probably wasn't enough for a red card. But I think the next challenge that Ben Whiteman makes, he's going to have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, I think he's a lucky boy. Although at the time, the necessity to make that challenge was big. Sorba Thomas, a huge threat for Stoke City. And he'll take instead a free kick from the halfway line. Crossfield ball for Nzonzi, who heads it goalwards into the chest of Everson and picked up nice and comfortably for him. So Championship action tonight and plenty more coming tomorrow. Don't forget, of course, you can go round the grounds with Adrian Durham and the team. First to every goal as Preston lay a ball forward for Dobbin, intercepted by Gibson. An important stop by him, and Stoke clear it away to the halfway line. Well, this certainly hasn't been a boring game by any means. It's been quite expansive at times.
Well, I have to say, in a comparison of the two games that I've covered at Deepdale over the last few weeks, it's night and day. They just couldn't get going against Oxford at all a few weeks ago, and they ended up losing that game. But this has certainly been a promising first half performance. There's no question of that. The energy's up. They're obviously buoyed from getting that equalising goal, but they're trying to get in behind Stoke, who are obviously a better side. They're higher up in the table, but there's no doubt this is a good performance.
Free kick for Preston North End. Be taken right on the halfway line. They're looking to create something with players massing on the left-hand side of the field. Meanwhile, the referee is going to go over and draw a line on the floor for Sorba Thomas to stand behind. He feels like the Stoke attacker who was trying to break down that Preston free kick too quickly. Sorba Thomas down like a runner about to start a race as Preston play the free kick into the centre. Whiteman chips it into the Stoke box. Up in the air goes the challenge on the left-hand side of the penalty area by Phillips. And Preston get it, turn it in with Hughes to the edge of the box. It's an opportunity for Osmajic. I'm not sure whether Tommy Simkin got hands on that. Whatever happened, it fell from there to Osmajic's head, and his header was nowhere near good enough. It's gone wide of goal.
I say, Steve, he got nowhere near it, Simkin. As that ball came into the air, I don't think he was expecting the cross. How Vukcevic has got the ball into the area in the first place, I do not know. He's kind of scooped it in towards that 6-yard area, but Simkins came out, he's flapped at it, and Osmajic, he probably didn't realise how much time he was going to get to head that ball. It was an open goal, but he saw it late and it just skimmed off the side of his head. What a chance.
Huge, and missed by Preston. They're having a good period here, good 10 minutes at home. 1-1 it is, Preston and Stoke City. Games tomorrow which you can hear live and exclusive on Talksport 2. Ipswich and Millwall. That'll be with Mike Sewell and Perry Groves from 12:30. What a clash that is of two teams up the top end. Sheffield United take on Wrexham in the Championship from 3. Adam Bridge and Cameron Jerome will bring you the commentary of that from 3 o'clock. And then from 5:15, Swansea Coventry. The leaders Coventry in action. Dance and Chris Iwelumo will be on commentary duty. Here, it's Stoke City who've got, what, a corner down on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they have. And Andrew Hughes has just had to turn around to the referee just to say, look, he's clipped the back of my heels. What are you doing? It should have been a free kick for us. But the referee again's pointed over to that corner, and he's trying to let the game flow as much as he can for Al-Hilal, and it's made it into a very good first half.
Corner kick on the far left-hand side. Sorba Thomas will take for Stoke City. Well, he's shaped to take it, and he's walked over the ball. He seems to like taking his time. He likes a bit of theatrics, does Sorba Thomas.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it, what things that filter down from the Premier League into the Championship. Long throws, everybody's standing in front of the goalkeeper. When somebody goes down in the 18-yard area, the referee wants to run in, have a word with the players. Just let them get on with it. If he fouls him, it's a foul.
So these teams tied at 1-1 at the moment at Deepdale. Sorba Thomas with a Stoke City corner kick from the left. It's thrown near side of the box, headed away by Preston North End and Moran. And as it was being rushed clear by, I think, on the far right-hand side, Valentin, he was fouled. Referee's given a free kick for Preston. Actually, it was Vukovic who was over there. And another player's going into the book. So he seems to have had a 5-minute spell of enjoying writing a few names down, this tonight's referee.
I think he's getting a bit frustrated. But I think the crowd are getting frustrated as well. Shamadou, as he's coming out of the 18-yard area there to try and win the ball back for his team. The game was going on. His boot was about 7 foot away from him. He's just putting it back on now. He's obviously been trampled on a little bit. And I think that's where they wanted the foul. But the referee's just saying, no, continue, carry on. Sometimes you can let these players go over that line just one step too far at times, Stephen. You get a bad challenge. I hope we don't see that tonight, but we did certainly come close with that Ben Whiteman challenge.
Everson with a free kick, and it goes high up the field into the Stoke half. But then Stoke send it immediately back. Hughes has to get in front of Manhoff and to the halfway line. Ball comes back of Moran's shoulder. Eventually ends up back with Simkin inside the Stoke penalty area, rolled out to the right-hand side for Phillips. Phillips, who was very much courted by Craig Bellamy, according to some articles I was reading this week. Craig Bellamy asked him whether perhaps he'd be interested in playing for Wales. It's a story that came out. Bellamy wanted it, kept private. His mum is Welsh, his mum's side of the family, but it was an approach that was rejected. Very young, bright player with a load of prospects, Phillips. Now here's Dobbin for Preston North End, left side of the box, rolled in towards a dangerous area. Devine couldn't meet it. Serious tackle came in from Pearson. Preston end up with it on the right hand side of the box. It's whipped back in from that far side. It's gone over the top of Simpkins' crossbar. And we've had some moments that Preston should really have done a lot better with in this game.
We certainly have. And again, it's Lewis Dobbin on this occasion he just pretty much gets to the byline. But as he does get to the byline, he's looking for his teammates. He has to wait to play the perfect pass, which gives then the Stoke players the chance to get themselves back, make it really difficult for anybody to get a shot away. But I've been really impressed with Preston. I mean, what's been happening at their club of late and the performances, it's been terrible. It really has. There's no other way around it, but this is an excellent 45 minutes.
It's been well contested by both. It means something, this match. Stoke came into it with talk that maybe better form could guide them nearer the top end as that cross comes into the box, headed away by Story, turned and flicked clear by Moran towards the centre circle, but Dobbin doesn't find possession of it. Nearly came back to Schmidt before it's booted clear by Hughes. Met by Phillips's head, tall imposing centre half, and drops into the Preston half. It's like a hot potato. Neither team can really hang on to things. Dobbin tries to turn his man Nzonzi, and he got the better of him. And cynically, Nzonzi dragged him down. Be a Preston free kick.
Well, I'm not one for wanting players to get yellow cards.
That's a yellow card.
But Stevens and Zonzi knows exactly what he's doing. You know, Dobbins, he's got the better of him. He's spun him on a couple of occasions. He's trying to get away from him. Obviously, Nzonzi's holding on to him. The two players go to ground. And the referee is right there. He can see everything that's going on. But if he's going to be consistent, he needs to get that yellow card out again. Very fortunate, Nzonzi.
Preston free kick. They've had an awful lot of set pieces in this first half, but haven't really manufactured the result from any of them. It's been one of their problems this season. Devine slips as he takes this free kick. It's then headed goalwards, but picked up by Sorba Thomas, cleared away by Nzonzi. On the run on the left-hand side is Millian Manhoff. Smits making a run down the centre channel. Manhoff still got it, tried to ply it in low towards Smith, and it's turned out by Paul Valentin for a corner for Stoke City.
That's how quick they can break Stoke. They do try and get Thomas and Manhoff on the ball. Whenever they get the opportunity, Thomas is going to take this corner, but the pace he goes at, and he can play it into that box with his left foot, his right foot. On this occasion goes low. It's well cleared by Preston, but that's the threat that Stoke have, albeit they've not been at their best in that 18-yard area.
So a Stoke corner from the left-hand side in front of the Kop end of the ground where the home fans are amassed, and Sorba Thomas once again taking charge of it. Nzonzi's in the box. Phillips is there as well. Smith's available. Thomas takes it. It's over the top of everyone, and it's bounced on the far side of the 6-yard box and goes out behind the goal for Everson to take a goal kick for Preston.
Well, do you put that down to a poor corner or bad understanding from the corner taker to his teammates? But surely, if there's too much on it, you have one of your defenders running round the back into that open space. It just became too easy for Liam Lindsay and Everson just to let it go, let it run out of play, take the sting out of the game. They've been on the back foot for the last 10 minutes or so, Stoke City. That was their opportunity, and it's only lasted a few seconds because of the quality.
So we're into the dying embers of the first half here at Deepdale, as Osmajic lets the ball run, but then picked up by the Stoke defence. Bocat then tried a little push in the back of Moran. Ends up with a free kick to Preston North End. Not sure there'll be anything else in this first half. 44 minutes on the clock, and it really sets it up nicely for the second 45 to come. So ball forward by Preston, headed away by Phillips towards the centre circle. Devine meets it for Preston North End, hooking it back forwards. Dobbin getting involved with Nzonzi again. Free kick given Stoke's way. Here's Chamadou. Ball back in play for Stoke City. Returns it to Phillips. Phillips to his keeper Simkin. One touch on the floor. Osmajic chases him down. It's worth chasing it down because this pitch is so bad. Who knows what will happen to the ball. And there's Phillips once more. First time hook forward to Schmidt, who's over on the left-hand side of the field. Three additional minutes to play as Stoke City look for a goal that would take them in front just before the break. That crossing from Thomas was headed away first time by Preston. Again, Devine involved in the clearance, and Whiteman over to the left-hand side. Vukovic takes on Chamadou. Chamadou quicker than him, gets in front of Vukovic's run and turns it back up the right side for Millian Manhoff. Preston North End see it roll out, and it will be a Stoke City throw.
Yeah, another player down on the ground, Stephen Nzonzi, I think it is on this occasion. Looks like he's holding on to his knee or his ankle, whether he's had a coming together or not. But moments earlier, what a good battle that was. Vukovic and Chamadou in a 1v1 situation. It was basically a foot race, wasn't it? But again, the wing-backs of Preston trying to get forward and make something happen in this game. And if you're going to play that system, Steve, if you play with three centre-halves, your wing-backs, they have to be involved in the game. Whether it's Valentin or Vukovic, they've got to get involved and get that ball into the air. And I think they've played it very well in this first 45 minutes. I think Paul Heckingbottom will be very pleased. And this is just something to go off, but the XG for Preston is 1.29. Stokes is 0.33. It tells a story, really, doesn't it?
And interestingly, of course, Paul Heckingbottom changed both his wing-backs for this game.
Yeah,
so Potts and Thierry Small started the last game, so he obviously felt he wasn't getting enough from those areas.
Yeah, no, absolutely, that's right. I mean, Small's just been left out. I think he's just been called up to England under 21s as well, so he would have probably been thinking he was going to play in this game. So the disappointment comes with something at the end of it, but it's obviously working. He needed to freshen it up, Paul. He needs to start winning football matches again, and I don't think the two wing-backs have let anybody down tonight.
Preston conceivably could have been in front heading into the half-time. They've had enough chances, but as stats will show you, they are in the bottom 3 for shots on goal this season, and it's proving pretty much that way with this game tonight. Ball ends up with Everson in the Preston goalmouth. He's back after a long layoff through injury and rolled out to Liam Lindsay, who could have scored himself with a header earlier on. He'll be really disappointed once he watches the replay of that one. And over to Story on the right-hand side. Moran. And now behind Osmajic, who wasn't really thanking him for that pass. Didn't help Preston out much, but they've somehow won the ball back once again. There's Paul Valentin, but he's lost it. Up to Schmidt by Stoke. Decent defending by Preston North End to get possession back once more. I think Paul Heckingbottom will be really pleased with the mentality of his side in this first half, and perhaps the confidence, because it must have been chipped away somewhat with the constant negative talk that's been going around Preston.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely agree with you. You've got to try and find that confidence from somewhere, and it's normally down to the players. You work hard, you get your results, you get your rewards, and finding yourself a goal behind isn't great for the confidence. But I think the character is being excellent from. Just to see another shove there from Sorba Thomas. He's got to be careful. He's been frustrated in this game, Steve. I think the two wide players who I kind of bigged up before the game, and Sorba Thomas, albeit he's got himself on the score sheet, and Manouf. If you can stop Stoke, if you can stop their wide players, you stop them playing. And there's a bit of frustration out there from the away team tonight.
Free kick which Everson will have for Preston. Surely the referee will blow his whistle immediately after this. So Everson lines it up. The Preston keeper looking long at the very end of the first half. Referee will allow this passage of play to continue through as Lindsay's push from behind. Second header is won by Vukovic, and now this time it's Manhorf who wins the third header before Ben Pearson lofts it long for Stoke City upfield for Sorba Thomas. Referee not stopping anything just yet. Now maybe as it's put by Paul Valentin down the right hand side for Preston, held up by Bokat's header. Unzonzi, he's the first to the ball. Half-time whistle goes at Deepdale. It's Preston North End 1, Stoke City 1. Stoke City came out on fire. Sorba Thomas scoring his 10th goal of the season after just 3 minutes. It was a brilliant cross from Chamadou and an excellent first-time finish from Thomas, slamming it in on the bounce past Daniel Everson. But Preston North End got themselves level after quarter of an hour. A pass through that dissected Stoke and sent Alfie Devine into the Stoke half all on his own. He sprinted forward and with his unfavoured left foot shot across the face of Simpkin's goal. Simpkin got fingers to it, but the ball nestled into the corner of the net. It's been a really good fight between these two. Preston North End 1, Stoke City 1 at half-time. Mickey Thomas.
Well, thoroughly enjoyed that first 45 minutes, I have to say. Two great goals. Different aspects, the way they were scored. Great cross into the box, a lovely finish from Sorba Thomas. And Alfie Devine breaking from his own half, using his pace. Got that bit of good fortune for the ball to slot into the bottom corner. I think another big talking point is Ben Whiteman's challenge, which we did actually see on the screens, a replay of it, Steve, and it was a nasty one, I have to say. But I've enjoyed that 45 minutes. I think Mark Robbins is going to be in that dressing room at half-time, and he's got a lot more work to do than Paul Heckingbottom.
Half-time Preston 1, Stoke 1. Let's check the half-time highlights with McDonald's.
Half-time highlights on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? The Big Arch is here to stay. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
Oh, well, here we go. We've still got 45 minutes to play here at Preston North End in a game that they desperately need to win, the home side, I think, to put 3 points on the board. And we mentioned it at the end of the first half commentary. Manager Paul Heckingbottom will be delighted with his team's response to consecutive defeats and a month which has really piled misery on them. I wonder what it is, where they found that confidence, Mickey.
Well, you want a reaction from your players. Maybe sometimes it's just sitting in the dressing room with your squad of players and just thrashing it out. What can the players do better? Maybe even what the manager, can you change things around? Just give us a bit of freedom or something. So when you thrashed it out, the manager then turns around and says, well, OK, we've got to a conclusion. Let's get out there and let's prove everybody that we are a good team. And that 45 minutes has proved it, there's no doubt. Look, nobody wins a football game in 45 minutes, Steve, but the signs are there that Preston have certainly improved. I've enjoyed that first half. They looked a bigger threat. Certainly set pieces as well. They look a threat. Lindsay had a wonderful header, didn't he, which he could have guided underneath that crossbar. But Stoke, maybe back to the drawing board. Get your wide players involved in the game. Let's get forward a little bit quicker. Get Schmidt involved in the game. I think he's touched the ball about 3 or 4 times, and it's just not worked for them. But you get another chance, don't you? You come out in the second half and you put things right.
From Stoke's perspective, Sorba Thomas, the 10th goal of the season. He's their shining light, and I'm sure they'll do everything they can to keep hold of him in the future.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, assists and goals, 10 goals, 9 assists. It's certainly what you want from your wide player, isn't it? And he's not frightened to take his full backs on, or wing backs as it is this evening. And when he gets a chance to put that ball in the area, he doesn't let anybody down. He was the player who was brought down for that Ben Whiteman challenge, and thankfully he got straight back up on his feet after waving his arms around a little bit. And Stoke need him for this push towards the end of the season because he's got so much quality.
Certainly has. Mark Robbins, he's got some options on the bench if needed in the second half. Sam Gallagher's there, of course. Big thing for Mark Robbins has been weighing up how to keep him fit but get him on the pitch and score goals. So he's someone who could maybe change things for Stokes. Raksaki as well is available. Lamine Cisse. Same time, Preston North End have some options, goal scoring options in the likes of Daniel Jefferson or Thierry Small, who might be used, or even Brad Potts, who hasn't got a goal this season but perhaps needs that confidence. There's plenty more to come in the second half of this game with detail. How are you feeling it might turn out, having watched that 45, Mickey?
Well, sometimes players sit down for 15 minutes and they come out in the second half and they're cold. From what we've seen so far, I don't think that's going to happen tonight. There's a great atmosphere in the stadium as well. Let's hope we get more goals in the second 45 minutes. OK, that was the half-time analysis with McDonald's.
Half-time highlights on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
OK, we'll have a short break after that. We'll look ahead to the weekend. Plenty of brilliant action on the way, which we'll cover off on Talksport, including Ipswich Millwall, which is a big one. We'll hear from both managers. That's next.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
A big day out in London? Wow! We could ride the London Eye, visit Madame Tussauds, dive into sea life, or scare ourselves silly at the London Dungeon. Shame we got to bring the grown-ups, but at least we can get up to £10 off our tickets with the Sun Super Days. Just pick up the Sun newspaper this Saturday to collect your codes or join Sun Club to book. T's and C's apply.
Our Queen Nana and her iron-strong will. Request list as long as her arm for a funeral. Luckily, a Co-op funeral care appointment, a chat, a bit of structure, turned 1,000 royal requests into one brilliant way to honour Nana.
If it's hard to know where to start, we're here to help every step of the way. However you choose to say goodbye, we help you own it. Co-op, owned by you, right by you. Search Co-op Funeral Care for your nearest funeral home.
Irrational is a printer that's next to your laptop, but somehow offline. Smart is a printer with self-healing Wi-Fi that helps keep you connected. Stressful is your printer choosing check-in day to check out of ink. Smart is an HP Smart Tank with 3 years of cartridge-free ink. Oh, that's smart. So go on, search HP Smart Tank. Find the last printer you'll ever need.
Imagine your dream holiday made possible by comparing cheap flights on Kayak. Walking on an unspoilt goes-on for miles beach on the Sardinian coast, plunging into the splendour of an idyllic lagoon in Greece. Ah, yes, this is the life. All you have to do is actually book it. Don't holidays. Use Kayak to compare prices from hundreds of travel sites and airlines to find your dream deal. Search Kayak and go see for yourself.
Wrong tool for the job? Don't make that mistake with your van. Get up to 30% off selected new Toyota vans and pickups with a warranty up to 10 years or 100,000 miles with every qualifying routine service. Visit your nearest Toyota centre or visit toyota.co.uk/van savings for more details. Savings on selected vans and pickups ordered by the 31st of March 2026. UK residents. See toyota.co.uk for full details. T's and C's apply.
With LV, I can get my home insurance from just £133. They've made it easy for me to get a great price. And their 24/7 emergency helpline lets me look after what matters to me. Because insurance is simple when it's me and LV.
No wonder we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. Get your quote today at lv.com. 10% of new customers paid £133 or less July to December 2025. LV General Insurance is part of Allianz.
It's a belter of a Sunday afternoon on Talksport. It's a proper Premier League match-up, isn't it? Newcastle take on Sunderland in the Tyne-Wear derby.
A quite fabulous goal.
Reek good build-up begins at 11 with Canny full match commentary from 12 noon.
Goodness me!
Hot away for a Sunday stunner of live Premier League football on Talksport.
The UK's #1 football experience.
Kick off live on Talksport 2.
The football just keeps on coming.
The shot that will seal the 3 points for Millwall and close the gap on the automatic promotion places.
I've got 8 games remaining. We're not finishing second tomorrow or the next day, are we?
George Hurst! 2-0 to Ipswich Town.
9 games left. They're all going to be tough. It's really hard to win games in this division, even harder at this stage of the season.
Oh, beautiful pass must be, and is, and it's slammed in by Tyrese Campbell.
Great ball to Broadhead, and Broadhead will score for Wrexham.
Anybody can beat anybody, and it's just make sure that we maintain a consistent kind of way of playing.
He's lost it, and Riders pull it in, and Swansea have won it in the final minute. Mason Clark on the turn and brilliantly firing into the roof of the net, and Coventry are up and running.
They've been the outstanding team pretty much since the opening weekend, and they'll be in the Premier League next season.
Talksport 2 in the Championship. Thriller minute, always action, always drama, always talking points, always brilliant. Okay, you're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2. At half-time is Preston North End 1, Stoke City 1. We'll have full second-half commentary to come shortly, but we will bring you a triple header of Championship action on Talksport 2 on a super Saturday of sport from 12:30 tomorrow. It's a huge game in the promotion race as third place Ipswich travel to fourth place Millwall before we bring you Wrexham's trip to Sheffield United at 3. Then at 5:15 we round it off with the league leaders Coventry and their trip to Swansea. Let's hear from the Millwall manager first of all, Alex Neil.
The whole second thing, I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? I've got 8 games remaining. We're not finishing second tomorrow or the next day, are we? We've got 8 games left, so we were never going to win anything today. We were never going to lose anything today. We've got a lot of games to come up, and we just need to focus on the next one. They're a great set of lads, and whatever we do this year, they've been unbelievable so far. You know, we've got 8 games left, and we'll attack everyone.
Well, their opponents, Ipswich, unbeaten in their last 6 and could go into the top 2 if results go their way. Here's their boss, Kieran McKenna.
It's not our focus, to be honest. We know the run of games that we've been in, and it was just important to get our result today. And then we got one more before international break. We got 9 games left. They're all going to be tough. It's really hard to win games in this division, even harder at this stage of the season. So we just need to keep working, look at the next game, and get ready for Saturday.
You'll be able to hear Ipswich against Millwall right here on Talksport 2 with our build-up getting underway at 12 o'clock ahead of the 12:30 kick-off. Later in the day, Coventry will look to get back to winning ways. They travel to Swansea. It's a 5:15 kick-off. Ahead of that one is their boss, Frank Lampard.
Every season is full of, good, bad, somewhere in between. Like it's important that the players stay very level-headed. That's why I don't get too caught up in the reaction. I know they're a good group. I know they're resilient because they've shown it through the season many a time. I know they're good players because the table tells us so this season from where we've come from, and that's through the development of the players and the work of the players and the unit of the team. So you're going to take a few hits in this league. There's 46 games against good opposition. Many things can happen. We've been the team that's proven to be at the top of that so far. So we need to take that confidence from that and take it forward.
Quick reminder, Coventry round off a triple header of Championship action on Talksport 2. The home of the Championship, Millwall against Ipswich, Sheffield United against Wrexham, and Swansea Coventry. That all live with us. Right, we'll be back with second half commentary here at Deepdale in a moment or two, but a first half which really had us on the edge of our seats. Preston North End 1, Stoke City 1. From Stoke City, and it's Sorba Thomas.
I mean, it's just come out of nowhere, a bolt of blue.
This is an opportunity as they break through the centre. It looks like it's Devine on the run. Devine into the Stoke box, takes a shot. Oh, it's into the corner of the net, and Preston have equalised.
Well, that's counter-attacking football at its best.
Preston get it, turn it in with Hughes to the edge of the box. It's an opportunity for Osmajic.
What a chance.
So that's the story of the first half here at Deepdale. Terrific start by Stoke City. Sorba Thomas with his 10th of the season, and then Alfie Devine with the equaliser on 15 minutes on the breakaway goal for Preston North End. It looks, given the players we can see out on the pitch at the moment at Deepdale, that there will be a change for Stoke at this half-time. You've got your eye on Sam Gallagher. You think Sam would be a good addition into this Stoke side in the second 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think Mark needs to do something, whether it is Milan Smith who comes off. It didn't really get going in the first half, but I don't think Mark would have been happy with that performance. He needs somebody like Sam Gallagher, who obviously plied his trade just up the road at Blackburn Rovers. We know he's a goal scorer. He's that big, strong, physical guy, whether he plays out wide or plays through the middle. But they've got to start asking a few more questions, Stoke City, in the second half.
Certainly have. I'm sure Preston North End might be far more comfortable with what they've got on the field at the moment. I don't think he'll be tinkering around Paul Gallagher, the manager Paul Heckingbottom, given the level of performance that his team have put out there on show tonight for the fans. And there's so much at stake. I just had a quick look at how the Championship table would change with just 1 point for Preston. That would only take them up one place within the table as it currently stands, but 3 points tonight will be really significant. You're talking about a 3 or 4 place jump.
Yeah, it's so close, isn't it? Which is why next season as well, Steve, it's going to be so exciting, because we're going down to 8th in the playoffs. I know it's not happening this time around, but that's the type of thing, you go into games like this, and if they do eventually, if it finishes as a draw, you're thinking, well, that's 2 points dropped. We could have been in 12th place if we'd have picked up all 3 points. That's how vital points are in the Championship.
We've just seen the Stoke City team come out from the tunnel, which is away in the far corner. Preston North End players in white are still all huddled at the edge of that tunnel exit, but Stoke have pretty much emerged as it stands at the moment. Now Preston come out to a choreographed bit of applause from the fans as well. Stoke breaking a very short warm-up routine which is being conducted out on the pitch. Well, let's hope we see another 45 as compelling as the first from these two teams. It really could have gone either way. I think Preston will feel that they should have headed into the break with the lead, but I think we pretty much nailed it in the commentary when we said they haven't got an out-and-out goal scorer in that Preston side. They haven't someone who's taken the mantle for the team. Osmajic is perhaps the best of them. Dobbin's a good player. Jefferson's available on the bench if they need him. But Stoke are making the change. And Smith is off. And as you predicted, Sam Gallagher is the replacement. They've had problems keeping him fit, Sam Gallagher.
Yeah, and that is Sam's problem. He has had those issues in the past as well, which is unfortunate for him. But he gets his opportunity. Certainly knows where the back of the net is, and that's exactly what Mark Robbins needs him to do in this second half.
So, referee's just counting the players out. Preston North End 1, Stoke 1.
I think another vital one that we need to talk about. I was just having a look there, Stephen. I thought it was Sorba Thomas. Sorba Thomas is actually... looks like he's just drifted over towards that right back position. Now, it's not a position that I think he wants to play, but this is certainly a change in system, a change in style for the away team.
Yeah, actually Raksaki's on the pitch now for Stoke. So the second half is underway. Preston North End attacking the Alan Kelly stand, getting an early cross in, saved at the near post by Simkin. So Raksaki's taken up the position on the left-hand side in front of Bocat. So it's Manhoef gone off.
Yeah, I think it's Chamadou, because I can see Manhoef is over on that far side. I think it's Chamadou who's gone off, whether he's got an issue.
Yes.
So that's the two changes they've made, and that is not where Sorba Thomas wants to play this second half. He wants to add to his tally of the night if he possibly can, but how's this going to disrupt Stoke City?
He's a right back at the moment. Here's Osmajic. And Preston pressing down the left-hand side with Moran and then it's up to the edge of the box and a shot by Preston, which is over the top of the crossbar from Dobbin, and he's not had many chances in the first half. Lewis Dobbin, that one he caught really well, but it just sailed a little bit too high at the end.
Yeah, it did. Couldn't quite keep it underneath that crossbar. But again, it's a positive start to the second half of Preston. I talked about sitting down for 15 minutes and just listening to that information from the coaches and the manager in that dressing room. But it's you who've got to get yourself back on your feet and get going, and Preston have certainly done that so far in the early stages of this second 45 minutes.
We'll have a look at the lineups for you in a moment once the play stops, but Everson drives one over the halfway line, met by the header of Phillips, and that one will go out for a Preston North End throw. So for Preston, Everson in goal, Story, Lindsay and Hughes, the back three. Valentin and Vukovic have operated on the wings and been effective. Whiteman came close to, a very bad disciplinary card out there, but got away with a yellow. He's still on the pitch and he's the captain for Preston. Moran and Devine in the centre. Devine with the goal, Osmajic and Dobbin complete the 11. And then for Stoke City, as they start this second half, Sorba Thomas is at right back because Chamadou is off. And Rakzaki has come on. He's on the left-hand side and he's got the ball at the moment. He's trying to dribble it round his man, Ben Whiteman, but he's dribbled it out of play. So it's Sorba Thomas, Phillips, Gibson and Bocat. They're the back four with Simkin in goal. You head into the midfield and Zonzi's there. Ben Pearson is there. Rigo's there. Manhoef's on the right-hand side. Raksaki's on the left. And then Gallagher up front.
Well, this is bizarre, Steve, isn't it? Stoke are actually making the third substitution, and I think we're about,
we're 1 minute into the second half.
I mean, why can you not do that at half-time? Really, really strange decision that from Mark Robbins. I actually thought they were going to make that third substitution so they could get Sorba Thomas back further up the field. But it's Junho Bayu who's just came on, I think. I think that's the player who's just come back onto the field.
And he's an effective player as well, so...
Yeah, a bit strange that. I have to be completely honest.
It's odd that it's happened 2 minutes in, whether he's just signalled an injury. But Bay is... a player that literally will slot into that number 10 role, just off Gallagher, and Gallagher's chasing for the ball at the moment. It was Hughes who thought it was more comfortable than it was, as it was bouncing back to his keeper. Behind him was Gallagher, who just about turned it into a safety area. Gone all the way back to the Stoke penalty area now, and Sorba Thomas.
Yeah, well, they've got to calm themselves a little bit here, Stoke. Settle their nerves a little bit, looking a bit shaky at times. Can these three players who just came and make a difference?
Pearson header forward, then it's Gallagher, and now it's into the box for Stoke City, and the chance from Manhoef was taken off his toes at the very last minute by Vukovic. Manhoef was lining up a shot and he clearly had sight of goal, and behind him a last minute challenge by Vukovic has diverted that out for a corner.
What a challenge from Vukovic, absolutely brilliant. Sam Gallagher's done really well, the little reverse pass to get Manhoef inside of the 18-yard area. He's just looking to get his shot away, and Vukovic has just poked out his left foot to block that shot towards the Preston goal.
Well, he might be playing at right back, Sorba Thomas, but they've let him come up to take a corner from the left-hand side, so he can still be involved. And we do know how dangerous he can be with that right foot. So one arm up, Thomas with the corner, far post he aims it. There's a tussle going on at that far side. Preston do manage to divert it clear. Here's Dobbin trying to run through Pearson. Pearson blocked it out. Second attempted clearance by Preston North End does get to the halfway line, and it's driven back by Rigo to his keeper, and then Simkin knocks it through the middle of the park high. Brought down by Preston. Moran goes to ground. Now it's Stoke City with the ball. Hughes finds possession. It breaks to the left side to Vukovic. He's nearly held back by Manhoff. But racing down that left-hand side is Vukovic. And then he's weighed a very high ball into the far post. He's not really giving much hope to Osmajic, who does manage to drag it down out of the air, but he's pushed wide at the same time. Preston on the attack, outside the box, put in by Ben Whiteman. Stooping header clearance coming from Phillips. And Manhoff picks it up before Sorba Thomas gets it cleared long. And Preston North End applying a little bit of pressure, and here's Dobbin again, but the flag's gone up for offside, and it will be a Stoke City free kick.
Well, where's this performance been from Preston North End? Oh, they've done everything right. The energy levels are absolutely excellent. They're giving everything. I know the game's on a knife edge at the moment, 1-1 level we are, but they're certainly pushing to go and win this football game. And Mark Robbins is probably scratching his head, those 3 changes he's made. And the third one was Stephen Nzonzi, who came off the pitch. He did get a bit of a knock in that first half, Stephen. I'm just wondering whether the manager said to him, look, go and try it in the second half. If it's no good, we'll make a quick change. But to make 2 and then 1, a minute into the second 45 minutes is a little bizarre.
You don't see it often. In terms of Preston, of course, playoff contenders until the beginning of January. Now 10 points off the drop zone, but not playing like that tonight. Spent plenty of time in the top 6. This sort of fighting performance shows some of those qualities. And with 8 games left, they've got the likes of Leicester away, QPR, Charlton, West Brom, Birmingham, Sheffield United and Southampton. I wonder how many points Preston can pick up, but they do desperately need the win tonight. And it is Preston North End 1, Stoke City 1, 52 minutes on the clock. It's Talksport 2. Mickey Gray, alongside myself, Steve Hothersall, for what is a quite captivating night of Championship football. And it continues into tomorrow. And of course, you follow it all on Talksport with Adrian Durham, or on Talksport 2 with those 3 live commentaries which I mentioned earlier, which starts with Ipswich Millwall. Here's Rigo. Rigo, square ball across the park to Sorba Thomas. First time ball forward from him from the right back position. Manhoff nearly turned his man. In the end, it was stopped by the Preston defence. Whiteman's dropped in to help. Vukovic had it for a second. Whiteman again has to turn it back towards Hughes, and Hughes gives it to the left-hand side for Vukovic to stroke it long. High-headed clearance coming from Phillips, only for Preston to get a foot back on it with Dobbin on the halfway line. Dobbin now to Osmajic. He loves a battle, doesn't he? He's out there for the fight and the battle for the full 90 is Osmajic.
Yeah, he's alongside Ashley Phillips, young centre-half plying his trade, obviously on loan from Tottenham as well. And the two of them just coming together there. The battle of the giants once more.
Liam Lindsay now, out wide to Vukovic. Nice ball, but it's offside against Dobbin. Maybe it was close. Phillips was the man marking him. Dobbin had gone wide left-hand side, tried to spin off the back of him, and good vision really from Vukovic, but didn't quite come off.
Played well tonight. Vukovic defended very well. He certainly tried to get forward when given the opportunity. See, he's got that great stride. When he gets into his stride, he's got super pace as well. And doesn't let you down too often with his crosses either. He's overhit 1 or 2. But I love to see fullbacks defending well and helping out in the opposition's half.
It's notable that Preston have started this second half in a similar sort of vein of confidence and belief in themselves. Simkin now clears it from outside his penalty area. First header came from Lindsay. Now Story with a header from the Preston defence. Ben Whiteman goes up, but it's won by Bay. And then going to ground is Sam Gallagher under the challenge of Lindsay. Referee says nothing in it. Away fans thought there might have been a free kick. It's Dobbin instead on the run. So Dobbin for Preston, great run, showing good feet, lays it off to Devine. He scored the first. His shot's deflected and down on the floor goes Moran. Referee didn't give anything. He was convinced that was a penalty.
Well,
Mickey Gray, your thoughts?
I'd love to see it again, I have to say. But as Moran went to ground there, he had no reason to go to ground. He was in control of the ball. He's running in on goal. He's going to get his shots away. And as he goes to ground, the first thing he does is turn around to have a look at the referee, waiting or hoping that he's going to blow his whistle. But again, Farai Halam just waves play on.
Definitely a feeling of momentum for Preston here. I wonder if they can capitalise on it. On the right-hand side, Paul Valentin now played forward through Story. Offside flag goes up. It must be Osmajic. He was the furthest forward for Preston North End. Phillips again hanging off him. Flag is raised, and that stopped that Preston passage of play. They're passing the ball well tonight, Preston.
Yeah, they are. And it's normally the opposite when I see Preston play. They're very direct. They get it up to Osmajic and then try and play off second balls. They've actually got the ball down. They've got the wing-backs involved in the game. They're playing through those midfield areas. On the other hand, Stoke, who normally get the ball down, they're now trying to play those long diagonal balls. And at the moment, it's not really paying off for them.
Stoke City haven't won on the road since the 4th of January. That was at Carrow Road. So these two teams have got their own problems to resolve at the moment. Stoke's last 2 games have given them a lift. Preston haven't had that lift. But maybe this is the start of theirs. As they get a free kick on the halfway line. Again,
Osmajic, the player to win the free kick. This time coming up alongside Ben Gibson. And he's just tugging at his shirt, pulling him out of the way. Cheap free kick to give to the home team. Certainly they are in the ascendancy.
Preston free kick, played down the right hand side, drifting out to that right side is Dobbin. He's got the ball, turns it in sharply. It's Preston North End with a goal, and Osmajic who scored it. Terrific cross from Dobbin. Osmajic from yards out, he heads it past the keeper Simpkin, and Preston take the lead. Preston North End 2, Stoke City 1, Osmajic for the Lily-Whites.
Well, the big centre forward, we've talked about him pretty much all night. He's been putting himself about, he's been a nuisance all night. On this occasion, he's just waiting for that ball to come into the area and get away from his marker. And as that ball comes in from the right-hand side, he just gets in front of his marker and just nods it, and this time does hit the target. It gives Simpkin absolutely no chance. I think it does come off the underside of his arm, but the tenacity of the striker has got him his just reward. Super finish.
Smashing from Lewis Dobbin as well. Quick feet, 2 players with him. Didn't have much time to get the cross in, but he knew where Osmajic was going to be. And of course, for a keeper, he can see the whites of Osmajic's eyes, can't he? A big man in front of you. Maybe there was only one winner at that moment. Osmajic's header makes it 2-1 to Preston North End. Certainly felt like it was coming, Mickey.
Yeah.
You've said it a few times. It's that bit of momentum in the game. And Paul Heckingbottom will be delighted with how his team have equipped themselves tonight. As it's floated back towards Everson in the Preston goal. Sam Gallagher chases down Everson. Everson almost topples as he gets the clearance over the halfway line. The ball drops to Bocap. Bocap back to his defence, Gibson. Now it'll be stroked forward by Rigo over the halfway line. Bay to Raksaki. Raksaki, couple of step overs, gets to the dead ball line, tries to cross in, but decently shut down by Valentin, who I think knew what Raksaki was up to. And it's a throw in for Stoke City.
Yeah, good defending again from Valentin on this occasion. But now it's Stoke who have to ask questions. It was Preston who found themselves a goal behind. Well, they flipped this game on its head. They've showed the signs of wanting to go on to win this football match. But now it's Stoke finding themselves a goal behind, who need to claw themselves back into the game.
Oof, that was nearly a wonderful pass by Manu through to Sam Gallagher. Stopped by an alert Preston defence, immediately pushed forward, and it's a chance for Devine. Can he make it 3? He certainly can. Fabulous finish from Alfie Devine. He just lofts it over Tommy Simpkin. Preston North End playing wonderful flowing football, a fantastic move, finished off in style by Alfie Devine, who chips the Stoke keeper and gives Preston some daylight in the game. Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1.
It's just beautiful, isn't it? That quick break again from Preston, a bit of good fortune with the ball coming off the back of Osmajic, but he just calms himself down, lays it on a plate for Devine, and Devine, he keeps his cool, he gets into the area, he waits for Simpkin to make the move, and that beautiful little dink over the top into the back of the net. What a performance from Preston.
Where has this confidence come from? Where has this swagger which we're watching tonight at Deepdale? And why has it been absent for so much of the second half of the season. But tonight, Alfie Devine with 2 goals. The first, a terrific run on the breakaway, and a slotted effort across the keeper. Of course, Osmaic put Preston 2-1 up, and then Devine there with a delightful chip to make it 3-1. It's Stoke who have to find a way back into this championship fixture, which Preston have got a stranglehold on now.
Yeah, Bolcat there again, trying to break down this left-hand side. Just not quite getting his shots away. They're all being blocked, but it's an open game now. Preston at the moment are in dreamland. They're winning 3 points at Stoke. They need to come up with something special.
8 goals for Devine this season. Stoke have got the ball, headed down and out of play onto the right-hand side by Stoke City. It'll be a Preston North End throw-in. 61 minutes on the clock. Mark Robbins comes up on the giant screen at the away end, and he's looking rather quizzical, almost as if, what do I do at this moment in time? You'd hate to be a manager with these problems, wouldn't you?
Well, the thing is with it, Steve, is you're kind of looking at it, you're thinking, where's this performance been? They're not going to play like that against my team if you're Mark Robbins. But Paul Heckingbottom will be absolutely thrilled the way that his team have approached this game, the disappointment of going a goal behind, but the reaction and the goals that they've got is fully deserved. They've been excellent.
A goal in the Premier League game, which you can hear tonight on Talksport. Bournemouth 0, Manchester United 1. Bruno Fernandes scoring on 60 minutes as Manchester United continue that incredible run that they've been on. Stoke City get a ball crossed into the box by Manhoof over the top of Sam Gallagher, and plenty of the Preston defenders patting each other because they're comfortable, they're confident at the moment. But that goal for Manchester United, as it currently stands, Premier League wise, 3rd place they're in, 57 points if they got the win at Bournemouth tonight. There's a change being made by Preston North End, and it's Osmaic who sat out the last game against Norwich. Had a little tweak was being nursed, and so a replacement being made there with Thierry Small coming on for Preston North End.
Well, freshens things up as well, doesn't it? But I think you can hear or sense it from the round of applause with the 2 players going off the pitch that they put a performance in tonight. They put a show on. Osmaic on the score sheet. He's still out there, but he wants to try and get his 2nd goal if he possibly can. But Small coming into that left-back position as well just freshens things up. Maybe Paul Heckingbottom's had a word with his players and say, look, we don't need to get forward as much now. Just got to try and sustain this lead, hold on to it, and send everybody home happy.
Yeah, sorry, I confused that. Osmaic still on there. And Thierry Small on the left-hand side in a wing-back position, and he's immediately into the action. Osmaic has gone into the penalty area. Small knocks it back for Devine, scorer of 2 goals tonight. He won't cross. Hughes will get involved in things as he runs to the byline, but instead Small will try and cross himself, headed clear from inside the penalty area. They're only put back forward by a Preston side who are grabbing this game by the throat, and a chance on the snapshot by Dobbin, and he smashed it into the face of one of the Stoke defenders who's still down on the floor, and the game hasn't stopped. The referee is now going to pause play. That might be Phillips who went down. He took it flush in the face. Right. Well, confidence breeding all around this Preston side. Everything they do seems to be working tonight.
It certainly does, and it was Lewis Dobbin with a volley there, the left foot volley, and it just clattered straight in to Ashley Phillips, and he must have felt the brunt of that one because there was a lot of pace behind it. But what a game of football. Really, really enjoyed it. Preston not far off 10 out of 10 tonight. They played so well.
Okay, Mabama coming on for Manhoff. Mabama back from injury. Meanwhile, a goal at the Vitality as it's Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1. Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1. Goal scorer for Bournemouth in that game is Ryan Christie. So 1-1 quick response there as that game coming alight. This one has had action throughout as Rigo stops the ball, plays it wide to left for Bay and nearly hit the referee in the process. Junho Bay down the line for Bocat. Bocat challenged for possession by Moran, who wins it. The two of them haven't given up on each other. Moran then clips it back against Bay, and that falls into the possession of Bocat again. It's pinball here, but it's broken for Preston, and coming free with it is Dobbin over the halfway line. It's an opportunity. There's white shirts streaming forward. It's Moran with the ball near side. He's looking for the run of Divine, doesn't quite meet him, and Stoke City make the clearance. Preston push it back again, but it drops to the feet of Bocat. Now Bay. Bay dispossessed of Preston, and they're closing down, and their quickness to anticipate and not giving Stoke a moment.
Yeah, excellent. They really have. In possession and out of possession. That high press, winning the ball back high, giving their players an opportunity. They've enjoyed themselves tonight. Played some wonderful stuff at times.
Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1. A reminder of the action tomorrow, 12:30, Brighton against Liverpool in the Premier League. Talksport exclusive commentary from Joe Shannon and the former England captain Stuart Pearce. You could also follow Ipswich Millwall in the Championship on Talksport 2. 3 o'clock, Sheffield United Wrexham in the Championship. Adam Bridge and Cameron Jerome will bring you the action in that game. Meanwhile, Adrian Durham will take you round the ground. Swansea Coventry from 5:15, and Leeds Brentford in the Premier League on Talksport at 8 o'clock. So really no excuse to enjoy your Saturday tomorrow with that lineup of games. And of course, we're getting to the crunch time in the season. It's Bocat going backwards, hemmed in, plays it. Dangerous ball almost back to Phillips on the edge of his own penalty area, won by Preston. Neat passing, Osmajic gives it to Moran, who's got it on the edge of the box. This might be a shot by Whiteman, who flies it right across the face of goal diagonally. The keeper Tommy Simkin may say he knew where it was going, but it was just a yard or two wide of the far post.
Yeah, always drifting away, wasn't it? But again, tenacious, wasn't it? Initially from Andrew Moran over on this right hand side, just keeping the ball alive. It falls nicely to Ben Whiteman, keeps it low, but as his shot was going towards goal, it was just curling past that far post.
So Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1 in the Championship here at Deepdale under the Friday night lights. Finally something for the home fans to cheer about in what has been a miserable second half of the season. Simpkins hit it up to the halfway line, onto the head of Divine. Hughes chips it wide for Thierry Small, on that left wing back position. Doesn't manage to keep it in play. It will be a Stoke City throw over on the right hand side. We've played 67 minutes of this game, and change made by Preston in the second half was Vukovic coming on for Thierry Small. Mubama replaced Manhoff for Stoke City, who've now made 4 changes. The other ones coming on: Bay, Gallagher and Raksaki for Chamadou, Schmidt and Unzonzi. So Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 2. It's a Bournemouth own goal which has put Manchester United back in front in that game. All of a sudden, that one's sparking into life at the Vitality. 4 goals here tonight, and still with 20 minutes left on the clock, you really can't take your eyes off the action down there. You're listening to the EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. No one delivers the Championship like Talksport 2. Here's Ben Pearson, former Preston man, now with Stoke, and the number 4 for Stoke. And his side is losing and needs to find a way back. They're 3-1 down. Ball out wide to the left-hand side for Bay. Bay gives to Bocat. Can he cross into the box? No, excellent tackle coming in to deny him the opportunity before it's cleared by Story up to Osmajic. Osmajic is fouled in the process. Referee quickly on the spot. Osmajic stays down, which isn't really very common of him, because the Montenegrin likes to get back up and back going whenever he can.
He certainly does. Just having a look down on pitch side here as well, and Andrew Moran, who's been great at both ends of the pitch, I have to say. But Bocat made a wonderful overlap and run down the left hand side. It looked for all that he was just going to whip that ball into the area, but Moran traced him down right until he had to slide onto the ground. The two players come together, a little bit winded I think he was, but that's the type of side, or the things you have to do for your team, the things that don't people see certain times in the game. Steve, he's been excellent, Moran.
Defensively as well, Preston have been good tonight. Of course, back with Everson between the six. I wonder whether they lost a little bit of confidence without him. Made his comeback against Coventry after 2 months out. Very experienced keeper. And that's no disrespect to Cornell, his number 2, but Everson very much the first choice at Preston. Phillips. Short pass to Sorba Thomas, who is playing right back, in case you missed that. His second half substitutions meant that Chamadou went off, and Sorba Thomas now tries to rake a ball through the centre. It's stopped by Preston and Devine and played calmly back to Everson's feet. Everson manages to get it away before Sam Gallagher closed him down. Ball returns back to the feet of Sorba Thomas. Uses his keeper Tommy Simkin.
Sometimes you're forced into changes, aren't you, Stephen? I think that's one of the questions that Mark Robbins will be asked at the end of this game is to, have you not got anybody on the bench who can play right back, or just drift one of your centre-halves over into that position and bring another centre-half onto the field? But to play Sorba Thomas there is a bit strange. He's got 10 goals this season and 9 assists. You're going to try and win a football game. It wasn't the decision I was expecting to see, I have to be honest with you.
Here comes Stoke over the halfway line with Bocat on the left-hand side. Down that channel, Bay is waiting. Junho Bay receives the ball. Left side of the Preston box. Cross in over the top of Everson. Opportunity for Stoke. Cleared away by Liam Lindsay. Out to Sorba Thomas. Can he make something of the moment? Thomas gives it to Rigo. He can't get the shot on goal. It comes back out of the Preston penalty area. Whipped back in by Bocat. And then a headed clearance by Liam Lindsay. Preston a little bit under the cosh for this minute. As the ball's crossed over to the right side of the field by Rigo, put back into the penalty area. Lindsay manages to volley it away from Sorba Thomas's delivery in, which was an excellent one. And now it's Pearson to Raksaki. Raksaki to Rigo. Rigo's left foot, lining it up. Doesn't quite happen. Bocat it will be this time. His shot is closed down by Moran, who's doing some great work for Preston North End, but Stoke have raised their tempo.
They have. They're ramping up the pressure, Stoke, but how have they not got the second goal? Great ball into the area. Everson got caught underneath it. He was in no man's land. I was just waiting for somebody like Sam Gallagher just to nod the ball into the back of the net from less than a yard out. And then Rigo with a follow-up should have done better. The pressure is now mounting on Preston.
Sorba Thomas with a corner kick for Stoke City in front of the 3,000 fans that have made that trip up the M6 to watch this. Thomas's corner kick is decent, punched away by Everson. It'll come back to that left side through Rigo. Thomas on the right foot once more, swirls the ball in, the ball's going goalwards, and Everson thought it might have been creeping in the corner and he dived for it. I don't know whether it was an outfield player or the keeper who got something on it, but it's gone out for another corner.
Yeah, I think it was Andrew Hughes, didn't really see the ball until late there, it just glanced off the side of his head to give Stoke another corner. But this is where Preston are digging deep, got to keep clearing the lines. The goalkeeper Everson helping them out. Those players have got to clear the lines as quick as they can.
Stoke with another corner. Again, Sorba Thomas takes it. It's so hard to defend that 6-yard box, and there's so many players in there, but this time it's come off another Preston head and gone out for another Sorba Thomas corner. Talk about having to be composed and see yourself through the tough times. Preston North End are having to deal with a Stoke City onslaught as they've raised their game by 50% in the last 5 minutes. Referee's going over to talk to Thierry Small, who's involved in a bit of a shoving match. In fact, he's got his arm wrapped around. Is that Bay at the moment? Well, it's not stopping. I think the referee is continuing to have eyes on the two of them. Now Sorba Thomas will take. Third corner in succession. This one headed away by Lindsay. Out towards Pearson.
Sorry, Steve. Still going. Those two players that you mentioned there. Bay and Small, they were at it even when the ball got cleared. There was elbows being thrown around. I don't think there was contact made, but got to be careful.
So Paul Heckingbottom has 2 more players lined up to come on. His team have been pretty much faultless, but can they see it through? Preston win the ball back in their own half. Dobbin chases away with it, gives it away a little bit sloppily. Rigo now for Stoke City, turns on possession, sends it out to Sorba Thomas, who's wide on this left side now, seemingly playing anywhere that suits him. Rigo once more, 30 yards from goal, but a wall of white Preston shirts denies him. Now it's Sorba Thomas, flipped in, Raksaki, but his first time take on his chest, dragged the ball away from goal, and he's taken it out and over the dead ball line.
Yeah, you're right about Sorba Thomas. He's playing left wing,
What's
he's
his
taking
position,
corners,
Mickey?
right back. You talk about a free roll, well, he's certainly got that. But is it too late? Bizarre decision to play him right back in the first place. He's the one who's going to make things happen for your team. And Preston just soaking up pressure, clearing the lines. 2 opportunities for Stoke from corners. Should have maybe done a little bit better. And Paul Heckenbottom is just trying to see the game out now.
Well, Brad Potts is coming on for Preston. Osmajic and Moran are going off, and coming on Daniel Jefferson and Brad Potts, the 2 attacking players. Jefferson, who has got goals this season, and to be fair to him, he's got 6 goals this season. He looks a handful, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Whereas Potts this season has never quite kicked off. He would have expected more.
Yeah, not quite happened for him. I'm sure that Paul Heckenbottom maybe is asking a different question for him today. Can't really keep breaking forward and making things happen and get that goal for himself tonight. But Jefferson, there's no doubt, brings energy, brings pace. And 12, 13 minutes left of the game. That's exactly what you want. Stretch the pitch and take the steam out of the game.
Well, he's up there alongside Dobbin now. Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2. Krupi with a penalty. It seems like that has turned into a humdinger. And Harry Maguire has seen red for Manchester United in that game. So 2-2 between Bournemouth and Manchester United. Both our Talksport live commentary tonight, bringing you entertainment in abundance. Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1 here at Deepdale. And Preston, I feel, want more. 77 minutes on the clock. They feel there's more goals in this for them. Throw in for North End comes back to Whiteman, and out to the right hand side once more for Paul Valentin. He's involved in a tug of shirts, which ends up in a free kick being given Stoke City's way. It was Bay, he was pulling back, and the Stoke City keeper comes out to take this. Tommy Simkin. The crowd are getting somewhat involved in things. Don't think that was taken from where it should have been, but Simkin gets play underway. Gibson across to Phillips, and now Sorba Thomas. High flighted ball down the right channel, trying to bring into play Sam Gallagher, and Gallagher does manage to win the throw-in for Stoke high up the pitch.
Not quite got Sam Gallagher involved in the game as much as I think he would have hoped, I have to say, since he's came onto the pitch. Just really struggling to get the ball to him. Maybe that's that change in personnel, players playing in strange positions. But I think Sam Gallagher's just got to play in between them 18-yard lines and get his side back into this football match as quick as he can.
Sorba Thomas gives the ball away with a pass which was way off his quality levels. Preston out to Brad Potts on the right-hand side. Potts has 2 of the purple Stoke shirts around him. Rigo's one of them. Rigo touched it last and then he left it for it to roll out. I thought that was pretty obvious to the naked eye, but it will be a Preston North End throw-in on the right-hand side. Must be such a better feeling for your manager, Paul Heckenbottom, who's had to endure so many downs in the past couple of months. Someone you know very well, isn't he, Mickey? And
yeah, he certainly is. I like Paul. He likes to play the game in the right way, and he's done really well in his managerial career, but he must have been thinking himself and his coaching staff, where's the next point, never mind the next win, going to come from? But as it stands, there's 3 coming their way.
Well, this is a massive fillip for this Preston team. They're 3-1 up tonight. Plus, it's been down to great football. Confidence, a performance delivered how the managers asked them to do it. Everything's been right. As Stoke City try to come down the left-hand side, the ball's gone out for a throw into Preston North End. There's certainly no rush from Story to get it under control. The ball's thrown back by Sam Gallagher because he wants Preston to get things underway quickly. It'll be dropped by Paul Valentin for Story to pick up instead behind. So Story with the throw. The turned, hooked, volleyed clearance by Ben Whiteman. The initial header down was by Gibson, but only into the feet of Jefferson, Those long legs, mazy runs and sort of tying up a couple of Stoke players. Bay's gone to ground, Jefferson's still got it, and then he trips over it himself. Well, he tied Bay up in knots then, and then he deceived himself when it came to the crucial part. And back to the corner flag. Attempted clearance by Pearson, and he's put it into touch, and some mocking jeers for the former Preston man from the home fans.
Yeah, there's that Preston again. This time Jefferson coming onto the pitch. Excellent from the striker.
Preston North End once more going forward with Whiteman and into Brad Potts' feet, but he had his body shaped awkwardly. He couldn't get goalwards in terms of how he was facing, and it's run through to the keeper. You're listening to the EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Price may vary. 2-2 between Bournemouth and Manchester United. 3-1 here to Preston North End against Stoke City on Talksport 2. Mickey Gray alongside myself, Steve Hothersall, and of course we'll all have eyes on some of the big matchups tomorrow as well, not least Ipswich Millwall, which kicks it off in the Championship at 12:30. You can follow it live with Mike Sewell and Perry Groves on Talksport 2. What a great duo. Sheffield United Wrexham comes from 3 o'clock, that's a Talksport 2 exclusive, and then Swansea Coventry. Here's Brad Potts for Preston as they break down the right. He's come into the area, he's got options, he lays it back, and it's scooped over the bar by Dobbin. He'd have hoped for more. Dobbin, who got the assist for the earlier Osmajic goal, really had his eyes on putting himself on the score sheet then, but a couple of times in this game as he got too much underneath that ball.
He did, yeah, and he started the initial move with a great ball down the right-hand side, and Dobbin wanted to get on the end of it. Potts picked him out, and probably his eyes lit up as he got that shot away, but didn't really threaten the Stoke goal.
Here they come again. Thierry Small for Preston. He'll take on Sorba Thomas, drills one in, just bounces off a Stoke player's legs, comes back out to the edge of the box, and the referee blows his whistle.
Well, bizarrely, Steve, as they were building up Preston down the left-hand side there, you can see the ball rolling around behind the goal now, the Stoke goal. It nearly went in the back of the net, the second ball. How no one's seen it and blew the whistle just to say, no, hang on a minute, we only need to play with one ball tonight. Well, Stoke certainly need two at the minute. But, why? That's just crazy.
Stoke's away form represented in these numbers. 1-6 on the road, but lost 9. This would be a 10th defeat if they were to lose today. So that's been a big issue for them. 4 draws to add to that. Another change being made. Lewis Dobbin, who's run his heart out tonight. He's being replaced. I didn't see who that was coming on for. Let's see if we can pick that up in just a moment. But it's Lewis Dobbin who's heading off to the far side of the pitch for Preston North End. He's played a real hand with an assist for the Osmajic headed goal. He's been a relentless force up front with his movement. And off goes Dobbin, the loanee from Aston Villa. Michael Smith comes on the pitch. And Offia comes on as well for Preston North End. So Michael Smith and Odell Offia add to the Preston ranks out on the pitch. And Offia with an immediate header. Brad Potts then is fouled by Bay, but the referee doesn't see it that way. The run upfield by Raksaki is stopped by Preston and Devine before Thierry Small gets onto things for the home side. Hits it against the legs of Sorba Thomas, and it's a Preston North End throw over on the left. There's a feel-good factor about Preston. They won't have said that many times for the last 3 months. They're actually getting the chance to sing.
They certainly enjoy themselves tonight, these Preston supporters, and rightly so.
It's a reverse of the score you saw 2 weeks ago against Oxford.
And a reverse in a performance.
Yeah, how different is it, Mickey?
Yeah, well, look, it was boos, it was jeers. I was actually worried, and I was wondering whether Paul Heckingbottom was going to be in charge for the games after the Oxford match, but they've stuck by him. And for sticking by a manager, this is the reward you get, putting in a performance like this. I think he'd be absolutely thrilled tonight, because you start to look over your shoulder, as we touched on in the build-up to this game. They were looking over the shoulder, getting worried a little bit, but if they keep performing like this till the end of the season, they're going to pick up a lot of points and they're going to upset a lot of sides along the way.
Lindsay heads it upfield. Small as well contributes with another header before Phillips in the Stoke defence grabs hold of possession. Can Stoke just get a foothold back into this one? Of course, their previous 2 games have been loaded with goals, not least the one against Ipswich, which ended 3-3. But here's Rigo to Bay. Not good enough from Bay, gives the ball away to Devine. Immediate clearance up to Jefferson. Jefferson has help around him. Brad Potts now gets involved on the right-hand side. And it comes back for Preston through Devine and back towards their defence. And Story, who says to Everson, just control it for a moment or two. Let's take the sting out of any Stoke incentive here. The ball up the right line, stopped by Bocat in the left-back position for Stoke. Now Rigo. Phillips is used in the centre-half position. Sorba Thomas. What a presence and force, but as Mickey said a number of times, how it does change Stoke when he's not in the position which is his best position.
It really
has been something that's affected the game.
It's hampered Stoke because I think your better players have to stay in those forward positions, and maybe even his teammates are thinking, oh, why is my manager putting Sorba Thomas at right back when we need to get ourselves in a winning lead? At the time it was, because it was 1-1 in the game. And I don't think Sorba Thomas wants to play in that position either. Yes, he's doing it for the team and he's helping out. If you're asked to do a job, you do that job. But with the quality that he's got from those wide areas, you need to keep winning football matches. I just find it a little bit strange.
I think given where we've seen his heat map, he definitely doesn't want to play in that position.
No. Well, he's been taking corners. He's found him on the left wing. We've seen him playing through the middle. It's all about discipline as a defender or a fullback, and I don't know if he's got that discipline, but it's just not his job, is it?
Gibson, high ball forward. Gallagher sees it peeled behind him, and that means it relieves the pressure for Preston North End. Instead, Brad Potts, with his hair tied back in the ponytail, under some pressure from Rigo, but controlling the situation. And it's back into Everson's feet in the Preston goal. Upfield he goes with the clearance. Bay is first to it. Controls well, does the South Korean. Now finds Raksaki on the far right side of the penalty area. Some sort of claim for a handball there. Couldn't really see it from this angle. Raksaki didn't get the support of his teammates. He's gone out for a throw-in instead.
Yeah, I think he was clutching a little bit there, Raksaki, just waiting for the bit of contact.
87
Andrew
minutes.
Hughes, I think his hand was Hughes on the ground, but not for me.
Well, it's the very end game for Preston North End. They'd like to see it through without conceding again. You certainly feel like they'll take the 3 points from this moment in the match. But strange things have happened in the Championship. And here's a Stoke City free kick on the halfway line. How will they organise things? Well, they'll organise it in a rush with Sorba Thomas just hitting it across to Bocat. Bocat now with the ball at his feet. Bay was going to make a run, instead just chipped slightly forward into the feet of Mubama. Mubama back to Gibson in the defence. Under pressure from Michael Smith. The attacker brought on by Preston North End. Pearson now across to Sorba Thomas. Thomas uses Raksaki, who's operating on the right flank for Stoke City. And back it comes through Pearson and back to their keeper. Preston so rigidly sticking to their jobs and formation, making it very hard for Stoke City to get through. There's Gibson with a high ball up to Gallagher. Well, for a man like that, yeah, you can head them on, but no one running in behind him. And Mubama, the closest to it, was a way off.
Yeah. You've got two strikers on there. They have to work together. Oh my goodness! Yeah,
that's
they have to work together.
Clearance by Everson, who's actually sliced it behind for a goal kick. For a corner kick under no pressure whatsoever.
Can you blame him on this pitch? I think he's found one of them bobbles. And look, there is plenty on this pitch. We've talked about it quite a few times, but it has cut up, and it's very difficult for the players to actually get the ball down and play some style of football. But Everson on this occasion just wanted to clear his lines. You could see it just bobbling in front of him. He was always nervous clearing his lines.
It's a corner kick for Sorba Thomas to take for Stoke City. He's had plenty in the second half. They haven't come to goals. This one punched away by the keeper. So hard for Everson to see. It's eventually gone out for another corner. Well, you heard it from the announcer, 5 additional minutes to play in the game. On a night that Preston North End have refound their confidence, their form, their goal-scoring touch, and they've refound the connection with the fans as well. Here's Sorba Thomas, another corner, again punched away, this time to the far side by Everson. Pearson runs to get it. Dying hopes of taking a quick throw in, but by the time he gets there, there's not many options available for him.
I thought Sorba Thomas was actually running up. He is
going over to take it. Is that really necessary, Mickey?
I mean, he's just taking a corner, basically from the left-hand side, and a run across the whole pitch.
Ball put back in by Stoke into the Preston box. Was that just to assuage Sorba Thomas's personality?
Well,
was he just...
I mean, he eventually hasn't even put the ball in for a long throw as well, has he, Steve? So it's just bizarre, and he's actually coming over now again, back to this left-hand side, to take a free kick. He's ridiculous.
Maybe
he really
he has
is
dibs
ridiculous.
on everything that happens in the Stoke.
Look, his set pieces, I have to say, his corners, he's put some whip corners into that Preston 6-yard area, so I don't understand why they're doing it, but as a player, you're thinking, really? Can somebody else not take one?
So, this time it's a free kick for Stoke, and it's about 7-8 yards from the corner flag, left-hand side. His previous corners have provided danger for Everson. Sorba Thomas takes this one. This time it's just smashed at the first attempt by Jefferson, because it wasn't a great free kick. Jefferson saw it coming goalwards. He was on the near post version. He's just lashed at it, and it's ended up back with the Stoke fans, who certainly aren't singing like they were in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, they weren't going to give the ball back there, were they? The Stoke supporters, I think they can't wait to get home now, but another chance for Thomas from one of these whipped-in corners.
Sorba Thomas once more. There's been enough of them in the game, and see, one of Preston's vulnerabilities this season has been conceding from set pieces. This corner to the far post for Bay, who's again still involved with a good old physical tussle with, it might have been Thierry Small, and it's gone out behind Everson's goal, and that will surely be it if it wasn't before. Yeah. Thoughts on Preston's maybe outstanding players tonight?
Well, there's certainly been some good performances. I think we always kind of look at the forward positions, don't we? But Devine getting himself a couple of goals, I think he's been outstanding tonight. Osmajic, we know he put himself about in the early stages of this game, got his just rewards from that header. But defensively as well, I think Liam Lindsay's done very well. Alongside him, Hughes and Story haven't really done very much wrong. So, yeah, all in all, a really, really polished performance from Preston.
And they come again looking for a fourth goal. That cross into Brad Potts, he wanted better. It's a shame. He was in a good position. He peeled off at the far side of the penalty area. Apologies coming his way from Devine. You can't all score on a night like this. And most of the Preston fans have stayed to see it out, because they haven't had the opportunity enough for the past 3 months to enjoy their football. Stoke at the other end. Now with Mubama. Tackle coming in, but still with Stoke at bay, and it might be an opportunity for Raksaki, but he's taking too long. Oh, it's almost bundled in after Everson palmed it and almost dropped it back to Raksaki. Now Rigo takes a shot, and that's only into the body of Liam Lindsay. Well, Everson almost with a big blunder, but Raksaki with no composure to see the second opportunity when he should really have put a second on the board for Stoke.
This is just incredible. I mean, Everson, he's not really looked commanding, has he, in that Preston goal? He's been nervy at times, missed it when he's come out for a cross on a couple of occasions. This time flaps at one. I actually think if Raksaki keeps his eye on the ball, he scores.
Now Preston break. Is this another opportunity? Jefferson's up there. It's out to Brad Potts. He's wide on the right-hand side. Bokat's in front of him. Brad Potts has done the sensible thing, turned his back on that, giving it to Whiteman. Preston still with it, stroking it about, back to Offia, and back through to the defence. Story has it at his feet. We're in that injury time. Preston are closing in on 3 valuable points. Thierry Small now for Preston North End, left side of the box, whips it in, far post, too much ahead of Brad Potts. Oh my. Well, this is the 5th minute of injury time seen through on Talksport 2. Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1, and from 17th in the the Championship to 12th in the Championship. What a difference a Friday night with renewed confidence, goals and connection with the fans. What a huge difference it makes. And Preston, the story pre-match was being about dragged into the Championship relegation zone, but they found their mojo and they found their way up into the top half of the Championship table. Sorba Thomas with the opening goal on 3 minutes for Stoke City. A terrific finish, but two from Alfie Devine, both fantastic in their own way. One on the counter-attack, another a Devine chip, and an Osmajic header to boot added into the middle of that. Means it's Preston North End who grab a win, something that's been a rarity for them of late. Full time at Deepdale, Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1.
Leapfrogged Stoke City in the process of winning this game tonight as well, and thoroughly enjoyed that game of football, and rightly so. Preston have gone on to pick up all 3 points. An excellent performance from Paul Heckingbottom's side, some great goals as well, and let's not forget they had to do it from coming from the goal behind as well. But Alfie Devine was absolutely outstanding tonight. He's got his couple of goals, but an excellent performance from him, and I think Paul Heckingbottom would be thrilled to pieces, because it's been a tough time over the last couple of months, getting dragged into all that towards that relegation fight. They needed to show tonight that they could put in a performance, Preston, and they've certainly done that. And they've come up against a Stoke side who are resilient at times, play some nice football, looked as if they were on the front foot when they got that goal from Sorba Thomas. But then it just petered out. Changes in that first 45 minutes. Sorba Thomas playing right back, can't quite work that one out. Not their night tonight, the away side. Those 3,000 supporters that have travelled, they're going to have to go back up that M6. It's going to be a long journey back for them. They'll be disappointed. But it's Preston's night tonight.
I think it was always obvious that Preston had the quality in their squad to produce a performance like that. And it might be overseen a little bit, but it's about the manager finding the right pieces to put together. I think an awful lot of credit for Paul Heckingbottom tonight. You mentioned that it's been tough times, probably personally really, really hard times to get your head round.
Yeah.
And he's done something tonight, because they came out, even despite conceding within 3 minutes, they never dropped their heads.
Well, that's 1 win in 8 for them, that, Steve, as well. So I think everybody listening will understand, losing football matches, your confidence drops. But Paul has had a word with his players. He said, look, it's getting worrying now. We need to actually perform. We've got the players to do it. You just go out there and express yourself and show how good you are. When you need to defend, you defend. Let's be organised. Let's make ourselves hard to beat. They've done that in abundance tonight. But in the middle of all that, some wonderful football. Could have seen more goals tonight. There's been chance after chance from both sides. But that probably has to go down as one of Preston's best performances throughout the whole of the season, I have to say, from back to front. They just look solid. They look hard to beat. They look like they wanted it tonight. They look like they wanted to win. And we've seen some brilliant goals from them.
Haven't we just? Maybe the pick of which was the chip. I don't know. The last one, it just felt almost a bit cheeky.
Yeah, it was cool, wasn't it? I mean, as he's ran in on goal, Devine there, you're thinking, is he just going to slaughter to either side of Simpkin in that Stoke City goal? But no, he kept his cool, waited for the keeper to make his move first, but the dink over the top of him. It was just beautiful, wasn't it?
Hope you've enjoyed your Friday night football in the Championship on Talksport 2. Certainly my thanks to Mickey Gray, great company alongside me to watch that victory for Preston North End. So they shoot from 17th in the table. They leapfrog their opponents tonight, Stoke City, and they're currently 12th in the table. Of course, many twists and turns to come on Game Day Live tomorrow. Don't forget the other commentaries we've got available for you. 12:30 Ipswich Millwall, Talksport 2 exclusive. Sheffield United Wrexham from 3 o'clock, another exclusive. And then Swansea Coventry from 5:15, Talksport 2 exclusive. There will be twists and turns. You can follow the games live there, or you can listen to Adrian Durham round the grounds. He brings you every goal as fast as it goes in. Thanks for your company tonight here at Deepdale. Resounding victory for a renewed Preston North End side. Preston North End 3, Stoke City 1.